Hey Strikers, this is SF and welcome to another series breakdown. This time is the second artist series with Vermeer, Seshu and Monet. And the first artist series was Rembrandt, Van Gogh, and Hokusai. So this series only has hatcher monsters, there's no farmables. So this will be relatively quick because I'm running down 3 monsters and 2 forms. So let's start with the fire monster, Vermeer. And let's look at the evolution. Power type, Pierce monster. So relatively slow speed, but he does have a D&T Slayer XL, so you can get guaranteed damage onto those D&T monsters, and also a D&T resistance, which cuts down 25% damage from D&Ts. Things like Marishi's cross laser will be very good to mitigate. Strike shot is a 20-turn strike shot with the laser SS. So basically, shoot at a target direction with the laser, and then bump combo is an energy blast. Now let's go for Ascension. He is a blast type now. Sling is Pierce at very low speed, even for a blast monster, but he is a Pierce as well, so it's really bad in terms of speed. But he has a no gravity barrier and Beast Slayer and Gauge of No Warp, so he has 2 abilities, 2 null abilities, and 2 of the main ones as well. Strike shot is Dispel gravity barriers, so things like there are a lot of gravity barriers, but it's a 12-turn. It has strike shot, but it's good for some dungeons that have gravity barriers and things like that. I'll talk a little bit more in terms of one dungeon that is kind of useful. Bump combo is a defense up, and then sub bump combo is a rebound shockwave 6. If you saw the stream video of the Monster Strike news, I was really my reaction was really off when I was going off when they announced Vermeer and the Ascendant form, because I was like, why you have a blast monster with a defense up bump combo? Of course the sub rebound shockwave 6 is also good, but why not just bring it to the front and give more damage for a blast type? Even though a sub version of a rebound shockwave 6 is very strong, but you know, whatever. It does proc the Beast Slayer as well, and 2 nulls is more than enough to ask for a regular hatcher monster. If it's the reverse, then it might be a little bit too strong when you compare it to the exclusives. But anyways, let's look at the dungeons for them. So evolution, there's only one place for now, although Marshy is okay, but this is the only one, and that is the Tower of Champions with the 23rd floor of the tower. So that's where Circuit and all these other mobs are D&Ts as well. So you can just hit bump combos, and then the energy blast will proc it, and then you get reduced damage, so you can reduce the damage from those volatile blasts from the enemies. So if you stack all 4, then you basically have a 100% 25%. You have basically 25% more effective health if you stack all 4. But you know, that's the only place you'll ever use them for now. For the Ascension, there are 2 main ones. One is Cannon. Vermeer fits all the hazards, and he has a Beast Slayer which slays the Tuckies and I think some of the mobs, but mainly the Tuckies I think are the main ones. And then there's also one more, Kushinada. Of course fits the bill in terms of fire monster, no gravity barrier and no warp, but the SS is very strong, especially if you're bringing no warp only monsters like Brahma. Of course Brahma is very strong at the last stage where there are no gravity barriers, but it helps like monsters like Brahma or even like Himiko for instance, to bring them to the last stage even faster with his strike shot, so that they can move around in the first or second bar of Kushinada and just to go ham on them, and then after that you can just rely on your DPS monsters to clear off Kushinada. Okay, let's look at the next. And then like for the Ascension Vermeer, like there's a lot of dungeons like Izanami and Nirvana and all those stuff as well, so there's a lot of them. I just highlighted 2 that he is very good at and are very unique for. Next monster is Seshu evolution, balance monsters, Pierce monster, and relatively okay stats. Ability no damage wall and a water slayer, so another water slayer. I think it's the first no damage wall water slayer in the game. Thinking. Probably there. I think it's the first one. But anyways, strike shot is very new and powerful. Is an ally style change and a motivation strike shot. So basically, combine Kushinada strike shot with all your ally monsters have their styles changed. So Pierce monsters become bounce monsters, and bounce monsters become Pierce monsters. Don't worry, Seshu will continue to become a Pierce monster. She will not change her sling to a bounce. So there's that. I should say ally sling change, but whatever. You know what I meant. Bump combo is an attack up, so 15% damage increase for whoever bumps into Seshu, and it's only for that turn, only for that shot only. Let's look at the Ascension Blast type now, and still a Pierce monster. Low speed again for a Blast type and for a Pierce monster. Ability no damage wall, gauge of no magic circle, and strike shot reducer. Strike shot is a 75% HP cut and deals damage, so it's basically like Udi, Hell Udi strike shot or Avalon strike shot, but Avalon is 50% and Hell Udi, the highest, is 60%. This one is 75%. And then Bump combo is a lock on Pierce Tox Wave 6, and then sub is a Fan Spread 10. I'm pretty sure the Tox Wave is still 50,000 per turn, even though she's a blast type. Only the main damage from the Tox Wave will deal more damage. I think it's still 50%, 50,000 poison damage. So let's look at the in terms of the strike shot, it is 50 times of whatever HP you sacrifice. So if it's a 100,000 HP team, then you cut 75% to 200, which is 775,000. Then you times that by 50, which is about a lot of damage. You just do a lot of damage. You guys can do the math there, but it's 50 times whatever HP that you sacrificed. Okay, next let's look at the dungeons, and both of them are pretty much the same because they're both no damage wall monsters. Horai or Penglai. Seshu's for this one. Seshu's strike shot is very strong in clearing out the Bahamas for the last stage, because all your Pierce monsters will become bounce monsters, and then you can use that to pinch the Bahamas, which is the hardest part in that last stage, unless you go for the one shots with the block loop and stuff like that. But in a normal sense, Seshu can use her strike shot and help your other monsters can can pinch the Bahamut and clear them that way. And the next one is of course Bishop Mountain with no damage wall, and she has a Water Slayer as well, and the motivation strike shot is always great. Ascension is pretty much the same thing, Penglai and Bishop Mountain. There's not much you use for the magic circle yet, because there's no dungeon in terms of impossibles and colossals that have magic circles that are mainly damage walls. There's only Akasha and Izanagi Zero, which are both mainly no warp dungeons. So it's only Penglai and Bishop Mountain. For now, just go for the evolution, because she just has a better strike shot, and they both have the same nulls for now. Let's look at the next monster, and that is Monet. This is the last one. She is a light monster, so evolution is a speed monster, bounce and high speed. Ability is flight and gravity barrier Slayer L. So basically deals 2.5 times more damage to monsters that have gravity barriers around them. Not that has a specific gravity barrier around them. Like there are some that overlap, like gravity barriers overlap those monsters. Those don't count. It has to be a specific barrier for that monster. Gauge is a no block. Strike shot is an 8-turn strike shot, and it's basically a bash or strike, laser strike shot. And bump combo of Pen Elemental Energy Circle. So the main strategy for evolution is to have just strike shot for her bump combo, and if that monster has a gravity barrier around them, then that 8-turn you can use it to deal a lot of damage. And it's basically and then flight is okay, and no block is not bad. People don't really like the evolution just because she's not a no gravity barrier monster along with that Slayer, so she's kind of useless when in gravity barrier dungeons because she can't move around that much. But you do have a strike shot every other turn to deal damage. Even without the weak spot, I think it will deal a decent amount, because it's basically like hitting a weak spot with that gravity barrier Slayer. Okay, let's look at the Ascension. Speed, bounce, and it's very high speed. Breaks the, I think it's one of the fastest. Before it was Avalon, but I think after that there was some other monster that passed him. I think Teeny passed Avalon, and I think Monet is still under Teeny, in my opinion. So ability, Minesweeper M, gauge of no warp, Strike Shot is an 18 turn strike shot that erases buffs and rage from foes. So it's the same thing as Nightingale. Basically, it erases any attack up buff, any defensive buff, counter modes, and rage. So their normal rage that deals more damage when you hit them more. And then Bump Combo is a Pen Elemental homing Destruction 15, and the sub is Energy Circle Pen Elemental. In terms of the Bump Combos, it's not bad. The main point is the two abilities, Minesweeper and the No Warp. There's not a lot of light monsters that have them, if I remember correctly. There are a lot of dark monsters that have them, with Meliodas, Cha-Cha, and there's probably some other ones out there. But light ones don't have a lot of Minesweeper, No Warp monsters. So let's look at the dungeons. First, with evolution is Akala. Akala has gravity barriers around him, so you can use her to strike shot every other turn to deal damage to either him or the clone, and she has a flight to deal with the mines as well. And the elemental energy circle is good for that zombie mob clearing. And then the next one is Skyomi Zero. She has a no block, and then you can use her gravity barrier Slayer L to deal damage to Skyomi. If you leave that Spectre up, there is that risk of leaving that Spectre up because you are losing healing wall. But if you leave that Spectre up to put gravity barriers around Skyomi Zero, then Monet deals a lot of damage, and she has a no block to clear off the eyeballs there. And let's look at the Ascension. Daigoku. Now Daigoku is kind of like an if for me, just because of course she deals with the gimmicks and stuff, but I'm not sure if her strike shot can erase the rage mode from Daigoku. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but for people that have her, then try it out. Or people have, I don't know if people tried it with Nightingale evolution, but if it erases the rage mode from Daigoku, then she'll be a really good pick. And the last one is Izanami Zero, just because she has super high speed, 500 speed, and you can use it to get more hits onto the healing walls to heal up. And her pump combo is not bad for just dealing damage. But that's pretty much it for me in terms of this rundown. If you have any more questions or comments, then by all means put it down below. And hope you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.